In the United Kingdom, schools are preparing to close their doors for the summer holidays. It's one of the busiest times of the year for the hospitality industry. But many businesses haven't been able to recruit enough staff. One suggestion is to tempt over 50s who have retired early back into the workforce. CGTN's Li Jianhua reports.
Mounir Cherkaoui has been running his London coffee shop for about 9 years. It was always his dream to own a small eatery, but now he can't find enough staff, mainly due to issues caused by the pandemic and by Brexit. He has to close his shop on Sundays.
I think the Brexit has a big part in this. So the Brexit was a big hit for the UK. I think a lot of the European workers, they all left the country. If I have a good team, I can open few branches, but at the moment we have a big shortage of labor. Yes, I mean the government, they have to do something to help us so we can grow and we can take the business to a different level.
Mounir is not alone. Vacancies across the UK hospitality industry are now 48% higher than before the pandemic. But there could be a solution. Recent polling suggests nearly 3/4 of British pub and restaurant owners would like to attract people over the age of 50 into their workforce.
So the first step is come and get a little bit of training, come and get a little stepping stone where I feel braver because I've got a little badge where I can know how to pour the perfect pint or make a great drink or carry 3 plates. So if I can learn some of those skills online, then I'll feel braver about actually applying for a job. And if I can find that job easy and it's around my area, then ultimately it can work around my timings and my lifestyle.
The global hospitality industry was impacted by the pandemic. The UK is not the only country that is facing labour shortages in its hospitality sector. Over 50s could help fill the gap, but the problem is how to tempt them back into the workforce. A report by the UK Upper House, the House of Lords, found that around 560,000 people in Britain have become economically inactive since the pandemic began, and early retirement among the over 50s played a major role in that.
What makes jobs attractive for most people are actually wages, but a small wage increase, I don't think, is going to attract these people back into the workforce, certainly not to go into the hospitality sector. I certainly can't see that the government is going to step in and put any funds to the sector. I mean, the government, you know, its main aim is to control inflation. It will do anything to achieve that.
So the demand is definitely there for older workers to return to the workforce, but it will come at a price. Li Jianhua, London.
Tragic plane crash during raging wildfires in Greece claims lives of Air Force personnel as climate change impact looms large. Justina Zario reports.
In the midst of devastating wildfires sweeping through Greece, a Canadair CL-215 plane operated by the Greek Air Force crashed tragically, claiming the lives of a 34-year-old commander and his 37-year-old co-pilot. The incident occurred near the town of Choristos on the island of Evia, not far from Athens, where the wildfires have been wreaking havoc for several days. Greek TV showed the Canadair aircraft flying to low drop water on a blaze before turning sharply into a hillside and crushing, bursting into flames. Greek state broadcaster ERT said the plane crashed over Choristos town. A 3-day mourning period has been dedicated in the Greek armed forces to honor the 2 fallen pilots. The wildfires have caused extensive damage, destroying homes and forcing thousands of tourists to evacuate, especially on the island of Rhodes. With temperatures soaring due to extreme heat waves, firefighting efforts have been intensified. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis has warned about the impact of climate change, saying that, quote, "We are at war, the climate crisis is already here," end of quote. And it's not just Greece that is currently burning. In fact, large areas of the Mediterranean sweltered under intense summer heat waves. According to a study by the World Weather Attribution, without human-induced climate change, the events happening this month would have been extremely rare. Algeria is currently battling to control a fire that has so far claimed at least 34 lives. Italy also suffered not only fires but also severe storms. At least 7 people were killed in Italy after storms in the north and wildfires in Sicily. Wildfires also broke out in France, Tunisia, Portugal, Croatia, and Syria. Reporting, this has been Justin Nazario, SMNI News.
The South African city of Durban, situated on the east coast, has been hugely affected by climate change. The area is accustomed to heavy rainfall in the summer months, but this has almost doubled in the last century. A few weeks ago, 7 people were killed when the city was hit by a tornado, a very rare occurrence in South Africa. Yulisa Jamela has more.
A devastating flood that ripped through the region in 2022 goes down as one of the worst in history. The floods claimed just over 450 lives. In the past few weeks, heavy rains brought on by the tornado left scores of people displaced and several injured. In this area, freak storms are becoming more frequent. Mamazane Mazange is one of the residents who were adversely affected by the floods. Her house was destroyed.
What seemed like heavy storms came out of nowhere. The winds uprooted my roof. They destroyed my house. Look at this. How can I recover? Where will I get another home? We were just fortunate that we were not injured, but it was bad. It was really bad.
Mazange is concerned that should there be more floods, she might lose her home completely.
I might just lose everything next time. You can see that it is bad. I'm hoping that I can recover and not ever be affected again. But who knows?
The provincial government and a number of non-governmental organizations continue to respond to assist affected communities.
As eThekwini Neighborhood Watch.
As the eThekwini Neighborhood Watch, we work with the provincial government. We all know that this will likely happen in the near future, so we continue with the contingency plans to make sure that we can do all that we can to protect these communities.
A recent study by the World Weather Attribution Initiative has linked the intensity of the floods in this region to climate change. The initiative is an academic collaboration studying extreme event attribution and extreme meteorological events such as heat waves, droughts, floods and storms. Yulisa Jamela in Durban, South Africa.